Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast, Dansby Swanson just keeps raking in the desert. Could an approach change in the offseason lead to his best offensive season with the Cubs? Plus, the Reds take one right on the chin in the last 24 hours. And Ryan Chiaverini from ABC 7 chops it up with us. CHGO Cubs next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs podcast. It is Tuesday, the 10th of March, 16 days away from opening day for your Chicago Cubs. Luke Stuckmeyer and Justin Roman in for you, too, because it's a Tuesday with Roman.
Absolutely.
That's how we started out,
Tuesdays
with Roman.
That's how this whole crazy ride started, isn't it?
Hi to everybody in the live YouTube chat. I see Becky has already checked in. We're going to talk Cubs baseball. Dansby's having a great spring so far. Whether or not that means something, I guess we will find out. Division rival takes one. We're going to talk World Baseball Classic, some crazy stuff there, and then a Cubs-related story from the World Baseball Classic. But first, and of course, Chiaverini is going to steal the show when he gets here.
He's the finale. You know, he's the closer.
We're the opener for Chiaverini.
Right.
First, this is your first chance to talk about the trip.
Yeah.
4 days in paradise.
It's awesome.
With the Chicago Cubs. What was your favorite part about spring training thanks to Shady Rays?
It was so much fun, man. You know, it was really cool. Like, it was almost like a spring break trip with the boys, you know? I know we had, like, obviously Sarah was there, so it wasn't just the boys, but Sarah's, like, awesome. She fits in anywhere, right?
Go Cubs.
Exactly. And, but, like, it was like, you know, like back when I was like a senior, we went to like Cancun with my buddies, you know, and I know we did different stuff, but like I love baseball. You love baseball. Going to 3 Cubs games, 1 Bulls game. We had some meet and greets and stuff. We had some Shady Rays store appearances. Like it was a lot. It was a really, really fun trip. The weather was awesome. My wife flew down there as well. So we got to go on a little hike while you guys were golfing.
Yeah.
And
almost got bitten by a rattlesnake.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really, really great trip. The whole trip was my favorite, but there was a very, very funny story that happened that I'm close to. We flew from O'Hare to Phoenix. Great landing. Everything was good. Smooth ride.
I wasn't on that plane.
Okay. Well, me and
was
Joey,
on a different flight.
Me, Joey, and Braggs were.
Yeah.
And so we land safe and sound, you know, and I get off, and I'm kind of waiting for I gate check the bag. So I'm waiting by like where the gate check would be, and I'm standing there, and this dude he was part of the airline was like, "Hey, I know you." And I'm like, oh, from where? He's like, I'm your neighbor. And I'm like, oh, dude, what's up, man? You know, and full disclosure, I didn't really recognize him, but like being in the business that we're in, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? You know, you kind of always got to play along. Hey, what's up, man? And I go, oh, that's cool. I go, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm the pilot. I flew you guys here. And I'm like, what? Like literally, and I'm not talking about this guy's my neighbor is in like the same town. In my actual subdivision, this guy lives and he was our pilot and he got us there safe and sound, right?
Yeah.
So crazy story. So he's like, oh, what are you doing today? I have a day layover and everything. I go, oh, we're going to the Cubs game. And oh, I'm going to go. Cool. So the pilot of our flight buys a ticket for the Cubs. My neighbor comes to Sloan Park, hangs out with us. Like we're all partying together and everything. And he's like, hey, we're going to the bars after the game. You want to come? And me, Braggs, and Joey, we had to leave to get ready for the Bulls game.
Yeah.
And so the pilot, my neighbor, goes, there's a Bulls game too? I'm going. Grabs his phone, buys a ticket.
That's
it. He goes to the Bulls game. So this guy like had no idea from my neighborhood. We both are on the same flight. He's flying the plane. I'm a passenger. He ended up hanging out with us at the Cubs game, at the Bulls game, and then he turned around the next morning. He flew to Denver, turned around to fly back to our neighborhood. He landed in Chicago at 10 o'clock that night. But what a small world that he was actually our pilot.
Now, the one thing I thought of after I heard this story, which was unbelievable, was that if you had known ahead of time, you might have got upgraded to first class.
Yeah.
You could have pulled the hey neighbor.
And I would have got a free ride to the airport because,
true.
Parking at O'Hare is not cheap, so I would have got a free ride. Yeah, maybe VIP first class. But what a small world that my neighbor was the one that flew us and landed us safely to Phoenix. And I will say the ride home was a bit bumpy. So my neighbor was the better pilot.
Different pilot, different plane.
My neighbor was the guy.
It was different airline too.
It was a different airline. Yeah, I don't want to bash any airlines, so we'll keep it very nameless. But my neighbor was the better pilot. My
2 favorite things were Shady Rays, obviously, and then going to the store and finding out that they sold readers in sunglasses for them.
Yes.
Going to change everything I do in the sunshine from now on. Now I can read my scorecard for golf, right? I can read all kinds of stuff. I can read my phone while I'm golfing or sitting at the pool.
Oh.
And then how about this?
Yes.
When we got to meet Fergie.
Hall of Famer Ferguson Jenkins was there hanging out.
He was getting at the concession stand. He was getting food.
Yeah.
Fergie and his wife standing there.
Yeah. He's a normal guy, except he could throw better than all of us combined because he is a Hall of Famer. And we had to get a pick right there. And I mean, look at that. Pretty cool.
And if your mom was at the plate, Fergie would get her off the plate by throwing at her head. That's the way it's going to be. Fergie,
he's a bulldog.
Yeah, he's old school.
Yeah.
You're on the plate, you're getting off the plate.
Love it.
I also loved all the food we ate.
Yeah.
Man, I will say Sloan Park's got pretty good food. You swear by the green chili burger?
Oh, the green chili cheeseburger. I recommended it. It's basically a cheeseburger with giardiniera on it, and I recommended it to Braggs. You'll see in a little bit in the video, and he said it was the best cheeseburger he's ever had in his life. It was really, really good. Yeah.
I had the ice cream. There's Braggs.
There's the burger right there.
Braggs.
Oh, so good.
He's in the food videos a lot.
Well, we got Luke coming up in a second.
Margaritas. Yeah, I had the mint chip first, and Peck had a hot dog, of course.
Yeah, and then of course a brewski.
Yeah, he had a few of those. Definitely had a few of those. Yeah.
But here we go.
There
Luke.
it is. Watch this bite. That is I took the whole top scoop off, and then watch this one. This one right here froze my brain so bad. I've never had my teeth and jaw
What
hurt
ice cream
worse.
stand did you go to? Which one was it?
Karen's
Oh,
Creamery.
I kept seeing that
Karen's
walking around.
Creamery,
That one
yeah.
looked legit too.
Yeah, they had 2 of them. That was good. I had they call that a base bowl, like a burrito bowl, but a base bowl. It was my wife, and then I closed it up with a big old thing of water because it was like 93 degrees and we were dying. It was so hot.
I've never purchased a liter of water before that.
I just did. Well,
that's the first time I've ever been like, oh, I'll take a whole liter.
To be smart, it was $10 for a liter, a big old bottle, a liter of water, and it was like $7 for a small bottle. So like, it's more than 2 bottles. I mean, it was a great trip, but trying to save a little money too. Being smart about it. So.
Rich Biesterfeld, who's a great photographer down there, that was one of the highlights too, getting to hang out with Rich a couple times the game. He says, who pointed out Fergie to you?
Our guy Rich.
It was Rich.
Our guy Rich.
Of course, we weren't paying attention.
No.
We were off doing all kinds of stuff. And he's like,
eating burgers.
Hey, Fergie's right there.
Ice cream. And we're going to have Rich on the show down the road because he's got so many great stories to tell. And he's got a behind the scenes look of our favorite team, doesn't he?
He always meets the young players before we ever get to see them.
Right, he knows about them first.
He goes around all the minor league camps and he gets to see all the players at spring training. So anyways, it was a great time. Now, one guy that's not there right now is Matthew Boyd. He was pitching for Team USA against Mexico. They won again.
Yep.
So that was good.
That was good. We gave Matt Boyd a 5-0 lead, which was good and needed.
Yeah, he didn't start.
Yeah.
He didn't start the game. That was Skeens. He went 2 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Here's the deal. He did this the day, as I was saying on our podcast yesterday, he's got to be the opening day starter.
And what I text you with.
And then he goes and gives up 2 bombs at the World Baseball Classic.
After this all happened, I texted
life.
everybody. I was like, I'm going Kate Horton opening day. Kate Horton opening day. But it is what it is. I mean, listen, these still are exhibition games. I understand your case for Matthew Boyd being the opening day starter, and he probably will be. I would just say that, I mean, Cade Horton, I think, he's your ace on this staff. Whether he's a young guy, so there's a whole like rite of passage. I get the veteran and everything like that, but I think Cade Horton is your ace from now and for years to come. So I'd like it to be him, but I'm with you. I do think it'll probably be a veteran, and it's got to be Boyd at that point, right?
I think if Horton had pitched all of last year,
or the playoffs included,
or was Rookie of the Year and finally won the award,
well, he should have been Rookie of the Year.
I agree with you. I think then maybe there's a different decision, but I think with Boyd being an all-star, I think they're going to give it to the veteran who dreamed of pitching for the Cubs. I think that's the way it's going to go, and I won't have a problem with that at all.
And if you watch the game, Matthew Boyd, his stat line doesn't look great, but I will say he got sabotaged by a Milwaukee Brewer because there was a ground ball that Terrain couldn't get to, and Nico Horner would have 1,000% gotten that ball.
Yeah.
So, there was a bit of a mess that wasn't exactly Matthew Boyd's fault. Had the right second baseman been playing behind him.
Yeah, so I blame that on D-Row. Mark DeRosa, that's his fault. Yeah.
I mean,
I love him, but, you should have picked Nico.
Listen, and we love Joey, who's not here today, but Joey had Bruce Terrain number 1 and second baseman.
Yeah.
You and I had Nico Horner number 1.
Right.
So if D-Row were to listen to us, maybe Matthew Boyd's line looks a little bit better.
That's right. And I don't really know that any of it matters.
They won
at all.
They won. That's the important thing.
I saw that Tyone had a nice start for Team Canada. So, do we put value in that?
And
that people
in the chat were so mad about Tyone's last spring training start for the Cubs because he didn't look good.
No.
So that's the thing is these, spring training is just that, spring training, and the WBC, no matter what, how much it's exciting and I'm watching it and I'm on the edge of my seat, it still is an exhibition game when it comes to our Cubs season. So I don't put a lot of stock in either or. I want them all healthy and hitting on all cylinders on opening day.
I saw that Skubal has now again decided not to come back and pitch later for Team USA. When he went into it, he said, I'm just doing these 50 pitches against Great Britain, and then I'm going back to the Tigers. Then, whether this was a PR move or not a PR move, he said, it was so awesome. I was so into it. I don't know. I got to talk to Scott Boras, my agent, because he's going to be a free agent. And I got to talk to the Tigers, and I might come back.
Yeah.
And now no, I'm not coming back. I get it. There's a lot of money on the line, but he's going to have that money on the line every time he pitches for the Tigers this season.
Yeah, but the thing about it is Skubal created that whole controversy himself. Like if he would have just said, I'm pitching 50 pitches one time and going back to Detroit or back to spring training, that's the end of it.
He did, but then he changed his mind after he pitched.
But my point is why say that? Like why?
Just come back and surprise everybody. I'm back.
Like I'm assuming what happened. I don't have no inside information, but I'm assuming is that he said he wore his emotions on his sleeve and he said that. And then Boris or the Tigers were like, no. To hell, you're coming back. You're coming back. Like you're done.
Yep.
And then he had to retract that. So my thing is why say that in the first place? Like that was kind of a dumb thing to kind of put your foot in your mouth and then, no, I am going back and whatever.
Now that said, we will delete this portion of the podcast for the last 2 minutes if he is traded to the Cubs at some point.
Yes, he's saving those
trade deadline.
He's saving those bullets for postseason for our Cubbies, because that I mean, you would think he is getting traded, and I mean, you figure we are, I do think we have an ace in Kate Horton, but we are like a superstar ace away from being favorites.
Right. So Sarah, right here is the edit point. Oh, and how about Skubal? What a great guy he is. We love Skubal. Give us more Skubal. So that's the story we're sticking with. Should he become available at the trade deadline? But that's only if the Tigers are out of it, and I still think they win that division. So
yeah, and they signed Valdez, so they do seem to be going for it.
They're going for it. But if they're not there, they're going to have to pivot on that. You can't lose somebody that valuable for nothing at all if you don't think you're going to be able to re-sign him.
If I was a Tigers GM, I would learn a lot from the Angels and how the Angels did not trade Shohei.
Yes.
Which was, I think, a fireable offense. I don't know why in the world you don't trade Shohei and restock your system in one trade. Boom. That was the dumbest thing in the world, and watch him walk away for nothing. If I'm the Tigers, I have to look at that because if you don't think you're signing this guy, and by the way, he wanted 31 million, you offered 19 in arbitration, you clearly are not close. You have to trade. I'm surprised that he wasn't traded in the offseason, but now at this point, I feel like you have to trade him at the deadline, short of them being the American League favorites and they have a great season. But either way, man, you can't let him walk for free.
It would be a worse move than the Cubs letting Kyle Schwarber or Greg Maddux walk away for free.
Greg Maddux, yes. Schwarber, as much as it hurts,
As
much as it hurts, he was not coming off of a great season. He was in the minor leagues for a while. It hurts, but it hurts. I mean, I'm with you.
He just got that huge home run from the World Baseball Classic, too.
Yeah.
He's the one that got away. If you're in high school and the girl, he's the one that got away. Schwarber is the one that got away.
I'll address that after the break.
Ooh, okay.
Another story about our trip and Kyle Schwarber coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Justin, I got a question for you. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And don't answer. Oh. And what if you could keep it at the same price for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 whole years?
I'm in.
Me too. That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. It fixes, finds problems before you even know them. It's like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And it lets you stream the game while everybody else in the family is online doing something else. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. There's no annual contracts. There's no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken. Right now, you want to lock in your price and unlock the possibilities for your Wi-Fi with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, and of course, restrictions apply.
Do not let the weather fool you. Yesterday was beautiful. Today, not so bad. We are still in the thick of winter.
Yeah.
Another week and a half, whatever. Winter is still here. Is your home's heating up for the challenge? Well, now is the time to schedule your 4 Seasons furnace tune-up, all right? At 4 Seasons, we guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs. No extra charge for nice weekends or holidays. Save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with 4 Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Furnaces start at $39 a month, and furnace AC combos from $57 a month. Call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. That's right. 4 Seasons. They have been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years, so you know they're one of us. 4 Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Visit 4seasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's 4seasonsheatingcooling.com.
Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast with Justin Roman, I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. I was mentioning Kyle Schwarber because as we were hanging out in our hotel lobby bar, we ran into some great folks from Tucson, and Schwarber hits the home run, and we got into the whole conversation like how could this happen? And they were all in on it too. They were like, Schwarber, favorite player from 2016. How could they do it? Biggest mistake. Somebody should have been fired for it. I don't disagree with any of it. But we laughed because I was now thinking to myself, what are people most mad about in an offseason this year? Is it Schwarber got away and we didn't re-sign him, and then he hits that home run and you're like, oh, every time he hits one, you're like, oh, he's our guy. Yeah. That was our guy. Or is it that there are not enough games on marquee? Because if I had $1 for every person that asked me why aren't the games on marquee, I'd say I've never worked there and I don't have the answer for you.
You know, I think that I would say why aren't the games on marquee is the bigger anger point, only because Schwarber's been gone now for a while. We've already been angry about Schwarber.
Yes.
You know, and like you were mad when you saw him in the postseason, and you've been mad for a while about Schwarber, me included, right? I think that is the one black eye on Jed Hoyer's resume there. I do think he got the other trades right, you know, whether the KB,
Absolutely.
Rizzo, and Javi Baez. I think he nailed those, right?
Maybe not the return, but the idea of they needed to be traded.
Well, it's a crapshoot, right? Yeah. We got PCA. That seemed to work out great. Kelvin Alcantara is still in the system, so we'll see what happens with him. KB, good thing we didn't sign him to a contract. Yeah. I mean, but whatever. Yeah. But the one black eye for me is definitely letting Schwarber walk away. I said before the break, it wasn't, hindsight is 2020. I think now, yes, it's a stupid move. I think back then, again, Schwarber was coming off of a really bad year. I think he was sent to the minors at some point. Like it wasn't as clear cut, although you don't give up on that kind of talent that you drafted and developed. It is what it is. But my point is that we've been mad for a while about Schwarber. The marquee thing is frustrating because, you know, if you're a Cub fan, you subscribe to marquee. And I've been watching spring training games on marquee for the past couple seasons, and I love it. I think it's great. It's a great perk. But this year they're only televising 9 games, and it's like when I want to watch my Cubbies, I can't. You know,
you got to go there.
You got to go to Arizona. And that's exactly what we did thanks to Shady Rays. Exactly.
That's right. Hey, better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. It's time for our Game Day Men's Health difference maker.
Ooh.
Dansby Swanson batting .556 with 2 home runs and a 1.375 OPS so far this spring. Is it possible that Dansby is poised to have his best offensive season or just best season in a Cubs uniform?
I think absolutely. I was going to say, I don't think he's poised to have his best his best season ever, because that one season for the Braves was really, really good. I think it was the year before free agency, actually. But I think for the Cubs, yes. I think that there is more offensively there for Dansby Swanson. I think that you don't just forget how to be a great, great hitter. I think that he struggled with runners in scoring position last year, which isn't like him normally.
Yeah.
I don't know the reasons why, but I do know that, and you can roll back tape earlier in the offseason, audio-wise, he said all the right things about, like, he was changing things up. He knows he can be better, and he wants to be better. So I think his offseason training schedule and everything was probably different, and he probably tweaked some things out a little bit. And you're seeing the early returns look really good in spring training right now. We were actually at one of the games, or was it Thursday or Saturday? I was at one of the games for sure when he hit a home run, and it looked really, really good. So he is killing the ball, and I do think 1,000% that he's primed to have his best offensive season for us. And also, too, he's not being asked to be the man, right? I mean, everyone wants to put the contract on him, which is, I guess you're a ball player, fair, unfair. But, like, he doesn't have to be the man. Let him be one of the men. And I think sliding down lower in the order, he can really, really thrive and have his best season for us.
You know, and if he does have his best season in a Cubs uniform, we talk about X factors. There could be 15 of them on this team, but that would be one right there.
1,000%.
Like if Dansby can give you a little more consistent offense.
Yeah.
24 home runs last year. What if he could pop that up to 30?
And also, he steals bases too. So, who knows?
What if the average was a little bit higher and the slumps were a little bit shorter, right?
Yeah.
Get on base and then play the great defense. Now, his plan going into this was, he was like, listen, I'm not happy with the way I've played offensively since joining the Cubs. Hasn't been good enough for him. So he's like, what can I do different? And he said basically it's just moving naturally. Like defensively, he just goes instincts and he gets the ball and he throws it.
Yeah.
He's not thinking mechanics through the fielding the ball and throwing the ball. He just does it.
Right.
And he's like, maybe I need to do that at the plate. Listen, I don't know what 556 with 2 home runs with 2 weeks left in spring training means.
Yeah.
But so far in the spring, it's been an effective way for, even if it's just something that he can fall back to during the season, be like, just relax.
Yeah.
Now, he's one of those guys at this point in his career that you'd say, listen, those guys don't change anything. They go do it the way they've been doing it because that's how they got to the major leagues. That's how they got a $170+ million contract. This is the way I'm going to do it. Pretty impressive for a guy at his age to say, you know what, I got to do something different. And Craig Counsell said, a lot of times as players, you can get into a rut with, practicing your mechanics and the way you practice and the way you do things. It's like sometimes you just got to go out there and swing.
It's funny. So I know this is a very weird comparison, but hear me out. Walk with me here, okay? I've said many times my son plays travel baseball, and they have trainers now. All these different things.
Right. Break each part down.
Yeah, they break it all down, right? And I love that because you want to get better. But at the end of the day, I tell the kids, I go, listen, at the end of the day, baseball is very simple. See the ball, hit the ball. And then as they get older and these professionals have even better trainers and better technology and videos, and their minds might get a little fogged with all the information. Because like at the end of the day, Dansby, you've been doing it your whole life. See the ball, hit the ball. You're obviously ultra talented. So I do kind of see that where like maybe he was getting too much information and he's going back to like what he's just muscle memory, what he's good at, what he's natural at. And actually Rich has a really good point here. A couple home runs and a triple so far this spring, plus the dad strength may be kicking in. People say dad strength is real. He's a new dad, so maybe he's got a little more to play for, a little more motivation. And I am looking for a big year out of Dansby Swanson. And I'll tell you what, if he can really, really step it up offensively, our lineup is so deep, and that is a good thing for the Cubs.
Now, Rich, nobody's ever told me that I look stronger or better as a dad. They've all said you look more fatigued, to be quite honest.
You got dad bod, right?
Yeah, I got dad bod.
There you
dad
go.
fatigue is what I got going on.
Dansby's going the other way. He's got the dad strength and hopefully a couple more bombs. Our old friend Sierra Santos, she had a really hot take and said that her bold prediction was Dansby being a 30-30 guy this year.
I heard that.
So I would take that in a second, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. 24 up to 30 home runs is not that big of a jump.
It's not.
That happens in baseball. Now, it doesn't usually happen into your 30s. Later, it's baseball players now, it's almost that prime has gone from 22 to 26. And then after that, it's these guys are getting old.
I will say, too, once Dansby gets on base, that's where he can steal the bases. Yeah. He reads the game well. Yeah. And then he just needs to, again, make contact more often. Yes. And I'm not asking for home runs every time, but he's also very good at RBIs, just getting on base.
And he normally is really good with runners in scoring position, but last year he was horrible at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was real good.
I think it was kind of an exception in the rule because he's been good historically.
He's not always like that.
And last year he was bad at it. So if you fix that part of it, which I think is a mental thing, and again, we're talking about him having a down year. He's still at 24 home runs. That's not so I agree. We're not that far from a tweak getting you 30 home runs, and then who knows?
The reason people get angry is because of the slumps.
Right.
Just like Ian Happ. They don't like the droughts and the hot streaks and yada, yada, yada. And Sarah, let's be honest. Let's be factual here. You like to see the hair bouncing as he's running. You like to see the slow shampoo commercial going.
I like him at shortstop more than I like him at bat.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because of the helmet or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe, but I will say his defense has always been the reason why I fell in love with him as a player, not necessarily him at bat. Yeah. That doesn't mean that he's not good at bat, but he has been known to have some slumps, and that's okay.
He's basically been a league average hitter.
And he wasn't that way coming over here. But the year before free agency with the Braves, he was phenomenal offensively. I think I forget how many home runs, but he had a really good offensive season. So we haven't gotten that version of Dansby yet, but wouldn't it be great if he did some tweaks and got that dad strength and we get that version in 2026? I will say, Sarah and I walked around and did some man on the street stuff at Sloan Park, asking people's favorite players, right?
Yeah.
PCA was definitely probably the number one answer from people.
Yeah.
But there was a girl who said Dansby Swanson. I'm like, why is that? She goes, he's the best looking guy on the team. So
which is true.
Right.
And I was going to mention that too. One of the things that I feel like people constantly think that Dansby has this hater group, especially when he's slumping. People always get on him, and I feel like they're harder on him than they need to be. But honestly, going to Arizona, there was a lot of people when we asked him, who's your favorite player? Or you walk around, there's a lot of Dansby love that
1,000%.
I think doesn't get recognized. Yeah. And I feel like it gets clouded over people being frustrated with his game.
It gets tied to his contract because he's got the biggest contract on the team, so people expect the most out of him. But really, Jed didn't sign him. He signed him because we needed a shortstop, but Dansby was never going to be your star offensive player as much as I love him, but he can be in that group. And I mean, again, if there's more in there, we're in for a really good year.
He still deserves to be the face, He still is very much
and he's a veteran leader.
100%.
Just
Gold
an
Glover.
There's a lot of stuff that
lot
makes
of
you a winner.
1,000%. He is a winner. He's a winner.
Yes. And, a lot of people asking, who's your favorite player? If Gary Ross would have been there, he would have said Jake Slaughter, of course.
See, he said before that Jake Slaughter is the one that got away, not Schwarber. Gary Ross says it's Jake Slaughter is the one that got away.
I saw Bruce Levine say Jordan Wicks, the nerve issue in his throwing arm, getting better.
Yep.
May throw off the mound next week, so that's good news.
Very good news.
But how about the Reds dealing with what they did real quick?
Ooh.
Hunter Green going to miss up until at least July. He's going to have arthroscopic surgery to remove bone chips in his throwing elbow.
Mm-hmm.
He only made 19 starts last year. Really good 19 starts, but it's been a problem. And that's a problem with the guys that throw 101.
You don't wish injury on anybody, but this does make the Reds worse because he is their ace. So which I guess makes better for the division, if you will. But man, he's a fireballer, and like Luke, you pointed out, they're saying July, but that could easily be it's August, or if it gets close enough to the end of the season, maybe he's out for the year. Who knows? But surgery on your pitching arm is never a good thing.
I would suggest anytime they're removing quote unquote bodies from your elbows,
Right.
as the doctors say, that doesn't sound like a good thing. Never removing bodies.
No, it's not a good thing.
You don't want to ever be removing bodies.
No.
When you're an athlete. By the way, David Snyder, I've just lost all the respect I once had for you. Mint chip, yuck.
I disagree with that. I like mint chip.
Mint chip with a chocolate
brownie. Is it my favorite? No, but
with a brownie.
It's still good.
Wow.
You know, guys, I've been with Luke now for about maybe a full season, and like we always talk about his sweet tooth, but man, down in Arizona, it was like we're doing this like food video, and he's like ice cream. I mean,
crumble
sweet.
over there. There's a crumble.
Yeah,
there's an insomnia
cookies after the Bulls game. Like we're all trying to get back home. He goes, "Hey guys, insomnia cookies is open." I mean, that sweet tooth is real when it comes to Luke Stuckmeyer.
That's how you get this dad bod, baby. All right. Coming up next after a quick break, it is Ryan Chiaverini from ABC 7. Stick around. It's the CHGO Cubs podcast.
I love life, but I'll tell you one thing I don't love, and that's getting older. All right. As a man, are you starting to feel like you have low energy throughout the day?
Yes.
You do not have the same motivation and drive. No. Seeing that scale move up and hair fall out, muscles tightening up.
Yes.
That might be the result of low testosterone. It's very common as you age and something to be mindful of. Whether it's peak performance or becoming a better father, better husband, or better man, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey throughout personalized care. Tailored to your goals, very easy. All you got to do, you'll be in and out in an hour, personal care, family, local owned clinics, extremely high success rate. And if you don't believe me, you can check out our boy Josh, right? Josh,
Unreal.
He has lost over 100 pounds in little over a year using their testosterone replacement therapy. Start your best life with Game Day Men's Health. Check out locations in Skokie, Naperville, Libertyville, and more, or scan the QR code to find the one closest to you. Go to GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you.
New vehicles in store at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal at their Declaration of Deals sales event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram models, and right now get 0% financing for 60 months on new vehicles. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with a friendly team of brand experts. Ray CDJR is there to help you on every stop of your journey. Plus, they prioritize affordability. And with Ray's price promise, you shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. It's that simple. So go check out our partner today. Shop one of the area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle for you, then drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the only one that we recommend. Don't miss out on their Declaration of Deals sales event for huge savings on new models. For more information, Ray CDJR on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online, raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963. Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, and if you think Dansby Swanson has great hair, if you think Dansby Swanson is good looking, take a look at Ryan Chiaverini from ABC 7. How's it going?
Hey, I don't even get hair and makeup for this, guys. Come on.
Oh, wow. This is natural. This is how good he is natural.
Naturally, he's a good looking dude, man. And honestly, he's a really, really good dude. One of my best friends. Ryan, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you, buddy. And
yeah, appreciate you as well. I heard you teasing that I was coming on saying I married you, but we should probably explain that a little better.
Yeah, let's clarify. So Ryan's got a bunch of titles, right? So he's obviously been on Windy City Live for years and years and years and years. Now he is the lead sports anchor on ABC 7 Chicago. And what people don't know is he's ordained, and he married me and my wife in Mexico. There you see a picture of him in our tuxes and everything. He was the one that officiated the wedding. And I got to say, real talk, he did a phenomenal, like perfect job marrying me and Kenzie. The right amount of emotion and humor. It was awesome, and I can't thank you enough, buddy.
Oh yeah, humor and heart goes a long way. But the funny thing is, everybody always asks me, "How did you become ordained?" I'm like, well, you basically go online. It's 5 minutes, and then you agree to the terms, and then boom, ordained. I've done 5 weddings now. I think I'm going to retire. I've done 5. I'm happy to say everyone is still married.
Yeah.
And most of you have had kids.
Yeah. Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I did it for a friend once too. My dad was a pastor, so I used to tell people my dad married me. And that also was awkward. Nobody understood that one for a long time either.
Yeah,
Right?
different parts of the country, people wouldn't look at you twice.
Exactly.
That's right. Ryan and I don't know if he remembers this, but we go back to San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. I was working in San Antonio. You must have been there for Northwestern, and it's right before I moved back to Chicago.
Oh, wow.
And I met him at a bar on the Riverwalk.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, was I there? Was I still working in Denver and
Working in
covering
Denver.
Colorado?
That's what it was. You were working in Denver. It was the Buffs were there.
Oh,
The Buffs were there.
That's cool.
And then the next year, I went and covered Northwestern was there against Nebraska. But yes, you're right. You were working in Denver at the time. In fact, I believe you played in a Big 12 championship at Texas Stadium, the old Texas Stadium, with your brother against Texas. Is that true?
I didn't get to play in the Big 12 championship with Colorado. I came right before then. They did play in the Big 12 championship. Unfortunately, I didn't get the ring. But yeah, we had some good teams at Colorado, though, and we got to play in some pretty good bowl games. And obviously, my brother got drafted, and now he's a coach, but got to play in the NFL for a few years. And he's my twin, and everybody always asks me, hey, how come you didn't play in the NFL like him? And I always go, same reason why you didn't.
Yeah, Coach Chev, right? Coach Chev.
Coach Chev, yeah, he's doing a great job coaching, but he was a great football player. I was a good football player, just wasn't good enough to get to that next level. People don't realize, like, with every level from high school to college, from college to the pros, it's just a whole nother level. And sometimes the best college players don't become the best pros, as we all know. And then sometimes, like the 5th round pick or, the Kurt Warner or the Tom Brady guy, he ends up getting overlooked and he becomes incredible. It's funny how it works. I think it all has to do with like timing and system and, where you end up. There's a lot of franchises that have ruined great players.
Totally. And people may be surprised watching you on, do sports anchoring on ABC7 Chicago, but you came from sports before you got the Windy City Live job, correct? So tell us about your journey. You were sports and then Windy City Live and now kind of back to sports while you're still doing Windy City Weekend.
Yeah, it's so funny. So I just hit 20 years at ABC. 20 years was March 6th.
Congrats, dude.
We're getting old, guys. Time flies.
We're not getting anything. We're there, buddy.
When I got hired here, it was funny because I started as a sports reporter, did that for a couple of years, moved up to weekend sports anchor. Then I auditioned for a show that was called Morning Rush at the time. Okay. And during the audition process, I actually told the executive producers, I think you should call this show Windy City Live, no matter if I get this job or not. I just think it's a catchy title. They ended up putting it through focus groups and all that. And luckily, the name stuck, but luckily I stuck as well. Yeah. But it was funny because when I first started doing the show back in 2011, it was the day after Oprah retired. We took her time slot, and there was a big headline on yahoo.com locally, and it said, or regionally, and it said, Oprah, here are your replacements. And it was a picture of Val and I, and then just a slew of just hate. The worst comments you could ever read. Yeah. And naturally that headline was so misleading, but that really bothered my family. I remember them reading the headlines. I go, guys, don't worry. You got to have a thick skin. That's just part of the game. And thankfully ABC stuck with us through the rough patches early on in that show. But it was funny because people would say, hey man, you're the sports guy. Well, why are you doing this talk show? And it was like, I couldn't break from that. You're the sports guy for the first year. Now I did the show for 10 years daily. I've gone back to sports and people were like, wait a minute, you're the Windy City Live guy. You do sports? Funny. And then, you have the OGs that have been watching from the beginning and they remember, and it's kind of nice.
That's awesome.
All you had to do was on that first show, you guys had to be, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
You know what? We actually gave away probably 5 or 6 cars through the over 10 years. We didn't do it all in one show. But we were able to do some car giveaways. And I'll tell you, that is a thrill of a lifetime. I couldn't imagine giving a whole studio audience cars. But giving a few cars away over 10 years was pretty thrilling.
He just marries people. You know, like you get a reception, you get a ceremony, you get
kids.
You don't know how many viewers have actually requested that I marry them. But, I only do that for my closest friends that I love the most.
When I asked him, actually, he had already said he was done. And I asked, he goes, I've told everyone I'm done, but like I can't say no to you. So I do appreciate you doing one more for me and Kenzie. We just got back from spring training here in Arizona. I'm sure you have some spring training stories and or times you've been covering different teams in spring training or anything. Do you have any favorite spots in Arizona or anything that sticks out?
The one story that sticks out, I get to spring training. I'm a young guy. I still like to go out in those days. And I'm with my photographer, Dwight Payne, a.k.a. Goldie Dwight Wilson. We decide we're going to go out because Brian Urlacher is having a big party, and somehow we have an invite. So we went to this party, and I remember seeing Mark Burley because we were covering Sox and we were covering Cubs. I saw Mark Burley, and he goes, hey, don't stay out too late, because he knew about this party. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to stay out too late. The next day, I was not doing well. Let's put it that way. And Dwight was fine for most of the day. Like his hit later in the day. I was just like zombie. And I see Burley early, because you guys know those spring training hours are early. You're in the clubhouse, you're getting up 6 a.m. or whatever. I was in there by 8, and Mark Burley's like, told you, man. What are you doing? Why'd you stay out so late? I was like, Urlacher invited us to his party. But you know what? Looking back now, I'm glad I did it.
Absolutely.
That's right. You only live once.
YOLO.
You only live once.
You know what YOLO means, right? You only live once.
Oh, okay. YOLO.
Sometimes
YOLO.
You YOLO, Luke.
YOLO. Listen, all I know is that I have Riz.
He's got tons of Riz.
I got tons of Riz.
Tons of
That's
Riz.
The kids tell me I got tons of Riz. So Team USA just beat Team Mexico, and with Justin being half Mexican, he was a little torn on this.
Yeah.
Now they play Italy. So, Mr. Chiaverini, who you rooting for?
Hey, come on. I love my Italian heritage, my Italian roots, and I do a lot with the Joint Civic Committee for Italian Americans here in Chicago, but Team USA all the way. In fact, I wasn't even sure who was on the Team Italy roster till I Googled it. And Vinny Pasquitano, obviously the most Italian name ever. He's got to be on the team. I was surprised Kyle Teal was on the team. I don't know, maybe he's Italian on his mother's side. But if you look at that Italy roster, some great Italian names on there, but I just don't see the talent level standing up to that USA team. But Team Mexico was surprised to see that they dominated the U.S. over the last 3 World Baseball Classics until last night. And
there was some fireworks too, because the manager afterwards said that he believes that Mexico can beat Team USA if they got to the finals together. And then there was that exchange with Randy
Arozarena and the Big Dumper. First of all, the Big Dump, they're teammates for the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Dumper's the catcher, Cal Raleigh. And Arozarena's teammate comes up and wants to shake his hands. And he no.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it.
No. And after the game, Arozarena dropped like 4 or 5 F-bombs about his teammate not shaking his hand. Have you ever had a teammate or somebody that wouldn't shake your hand? Have you ever had Dwight refuse to turn on a camera?
Any bad teammates or anything?
The Anchorman wars of the news fights, I think thankfully we missed a lot of that. I heard a lot about what TV was like in Chicago in the 80s and 90s. I'm thankful that all of us have worked for various stations, and it's more like a fraternity and it's more accepting. But yeah, I actually think that is horrible sportsmanship. I mean, shake a guy's hand. What is going on? You remember, wasn't it Kobe that fouled Vlade super hard in the Olympics? Yes. Wasn't it Kobe? It was his teammate, and then he drills him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, come on, guys. You got to have some sportsmanship there.
Well, the Bulls back in the day went against Tony Kukoc, and Jordan was determined to make it he wasn't on the Bulls yet, and they were like, we are going to show this guy what it's going to be like. Yes. He's going to come play with us. So I guess we embraced it then, though.
I don't understand the Big Dumper situation. I mean, it was a weird – I didn't see his quote afterwards. I saw something along – He didn't talk afterwards.
No, he didn't talk.
So, I mean, these guys are teammates in like real baseball, right? So like it's not even some stranger. It was the weirdest thing where I actually do side with Randy. I think that was a weird. If anything, I think Randy was kind of like paying respect, like, hey man, well, good to see you. And for Cal just to like ignore him, it was it was a weird exchange. I'm anxious to hear if there's a story behind that. Maybe they don't get along. Yeah. But it was a weird exchange on the national stage, international stage. Actually,
there's some trash talking going on. But yeah, to be teammates, like. And we were talking about, Jordan and Kobe. When Kobe came up, remember, it was Jordan was going to I got the young kid. I'm going to D him up. But they weren't on the same team. It was different when you're teammates. There's got to be some trash talking that was going on or some kind of backstory that we're not getting just yet.
And there was one more thing, too, that Randy said in Spanish. So, like, a lot of people don't understand. But he said that the only thing good about Cal Raleigh are his parents, because his parents saw him at the game and embraced him and gave him hugs and everything. So it's the weirdest story, but the optics, I'm with you, Ryan. I don't think they look great for the big dumper, but I mean, maybe there is more to it. We'll find out down the road.
He said he can take his good to see you and stick it. I'll just say
he cursed.
Even though it's a podcast, we could say all kinds of stuff on this, Ryan. It's really kind of great. No, Sarah said I'm not allowed to say it now.
Okay. Our producer said no.
If we do overtime, we can.
If we do overtime when nobody's listening.
Ryan, the hard-hitting questions in the chat right now. We're seeing a bunch of people right now trying to figure out who the best-looking Cub is, Dansby Swanson or Nico Horner. I know you're a man's man. We're secure enough to answer this question.
Tough questions.
Dansby Swanson or Nico Horner, who are you picking?
Well, Matt Shaw's a handsome guy too.
There you go. Good call.
But I'm gonna go Dansby because he's got the hair, man.
Yeah.
Dansby's got that flow and the perfect beard. Yeah. I'm always trying to grow the perfect beard.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna do the 3 pictures side by side. You, Justin, and Dansby. Who's got the best hair in Chicago? But well, I don't know. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
If you just look at our bank accounts, that seems to decide who's most attractive to women. Yeah. Have you ever noticed that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what freaks me out? Yeah.
They have those memes. It's like he wins the lottery, he wins $400 million, and then 3 days later finds the love of his life.
Right. Shocker.
The guy has all the luck, and obviously they're not,
Exactly. Dansby, the one thing that I've seen him talk about his hair, because he's been asked about his hair before, and he swears that he does nothing to his hair. And I just don't believe that, because like I do have like longer hair and thicker hair, and like if I took my hat off right now, I have hat head. You mean to tell me Dansby with the helmet?
How does it stay like that?
How does it stay like that? It's crazy.
I think it's a piece.
You think it's a piece?
No, I don't.
Is he doing a Troy Polamalu commercial yet? Because he should be. And then how about the guy at the NFL draft? That was epic. The offensive lineman with the red mullet. Did you see him?
No, I didn't see him.
Oh, it was epic. Yeah, he's going to definitely get a deal. He's
that was going viral online. Yeah.
What's his name? Did you get it?
No, I only saw the videos online though. But yeah, it was like a beautiful mullet, like beautiful. Oh, yeah.
I showed it to close the sportscast, and I'm already blanking on his name, but he's supposed to be like a 2nd-round pick. He's from Iowa. Dude, I'm telling you, the guy is going to be the most popular lineman in the NFL. Everybody in the stadium will have the hair next year. Just
nice. Great all right.
Now, people, I think, realize this. Ryan not only does Windy City Live, and he does sportscasting, and he marries people. He also is a musician.
He is. He's a good one.
Bub City all over the place. So the tougher question is, who's a better singer? Ryan Chiaverini or Justin Roman? I'll pitch you against each other.
Hits. Justin's got way bigger hits. I got to give him that, man.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. The one thing about me and Ryan is that like our deep passion is music, Ryan's had a lot of success in this city, again, Windy City Live, and now obviously being the lead sports anchor over at ABC. But like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like you would trade it all to be like the biggest rock star in the world and performing around the country. I feel music is a deep passion for us, and I love where I'm at right now. I love my radio career and everything, but I would have traded it all to be like the next Michael Jackson back in the day, right? Music is a deep passion for me, and I think for you as well, Ryan, right?
Yeah, I would be gone this fast. So,
right.
So I'm a total rock star dreamer. So quickly, my father grew up as he was been a professional musician for 50 years. opened for Sonny and Cher and the Beach Boys, did all that surf music with Dick Dale. And then Quentin Tarantino loved his music. The band's called The Lively Ones. If you Google it, they're everywhere online. And when you see, you'll know exactly which one my dad is, because we look just alike back when he was young. And Quentin Tarantino put one of his songs in Pulp Fiction. 30 years later, he got a platinum album after the song was released. You know, remember Pulp Fiction came out in the 90s, so he got a platinum album then. And it kind of, I mean, it resurrected his career a bit, but he's been pretty much singing, you know, in bars and restaurants for this, like three places in 30 years. And he's been a fixture in Southern California. He's in his 80s. He still performs, not professionally, but he had an unbelievable 60-year career. So I just remember growing up watching him play and always just wanting to play and being so fascinated. And yeah, sports was great and all of that. But yeah, if I could trade it, I would definitely be a rock star. I mean, there's nothing like it. And doing sports in a cold studio, and as you know, there's not a lot of people in a studio, especially anymore. The energy is different. Even when I do Windy City Live and we have a live audience, that energy, I couldn't imagine what it'd be like, you know, to be at Madison Square Garden or one of those places.
You know, a funny thing, just from being in radio for so long, interviewing a lot of artists, and then knowing some of the like athletes here in Chicago, they all would like trade places. I feel like athletes want to be rock stars.
Oh yeah.
And rock stars want to be athletes. It's the craziest thing. Like no one's ever super comfortable in their skin. They always think the grass is like Jimmy Butler. I was friends with for a long time, but he loved country music.
Yeah.
And he would be at all the country shows with me and stuff like that. Like he was dying to be up on that stage in the music world, you know? But then all these rock stars that I do know are musicians, they want to be with the players. They want to be on the field. They want to be playing ball and stuff. So it is kind of funny. We always want the other thing, you know?
And they all end up being podcasters.
They all end up being podcasters.
Sooner or later, they all end up being podcasters.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, look at Shaq, man. He's got, how many albums does he have? And now he's a DJ, and you know, he's living his best life.
Oh yeah, yeah, with no filter either. Like
he's still a sheriff too. Like he's a sheriff. Yeah, he was handing out tickets one time.
I saw Shaq when he was at Lollapalooza. I went to his set. Yeah, I went to his set, and he, from afar away, he was the biggest human I have ever seen in my life.
Do you know?
But he was good. Yeah. Oh my God, it was such a performance.
Do you know that Shaq is the same exact age as Luke Stuckmeyer on the same exact day, same year?
Some say switched in the hospital.
Yeah.
Some people have suggested we might have been one of those twins movies separated. He's Schwarzenegger and I'm Danny DeVito.
I was going to say that would be the best sequel ever right there. And there is talks of a sequel for that.
Really?
Yeah. I love Danny DeVito. I love Danny DeVito. By the way, if you're ever on stage at Bub City or wherever it is next time and you want to do a little collab, being an old dad hashtag, if you want wheels on the bus, go round and round. I got a voice, baby. I got
Baby
tunes
Shark.
in me, Chiaverini.
Baby Shark.
Oh,
Baby Shark? Oh,
Shark,
man.
Shark.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do them all.
I only know that from the parents that I work with. It drives them nuts, and then they want to drive us nuts. By the way, I googled the guy. You got to check him out. Jennings Dunker, 6'5", 319 pounds. From Iowa. Just wait till you see. That's the guy with the big red mullet. He was the talk of the combine.
Speaking of that, Ryan, what is your favorite sport? Now you cover all sports for ABC. Obviously, do you have a favorite sport? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, you know what? I play hockey and I love hockey. So a lot of people think that's my favorite sport, and it's the sport that I'm actually the best at. You know, besides playing Division I college football, which, you know, I was more of a backup. But football is my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport to watch, and I'm just always intrigued. Like, what are the Bears doing? What's going on in the NFL? And I think it's because there's only 17 games, you know, and obviously it was 16 for so many years. But every game is so important, and it's like I love baseball, but I love baseball when we get into September and October. Yeah. You know, when it gets late in the season, it's like when it's in the middle of June, it's hard to get excited. Even like showing highlights, you're like, well, it's just a game. You know, it's like doesn't mean. Unless something incredible happens in the game, a guy hits for the cycle or some kind of history is made. But football, it's like every single game matters. Every single game means something. And there's no such thing as tanking. You know, the NBA guys, you know, this whole load management thing. And to me, that's all a joke. In football, if you're taking it easy, you're going to get your head knocked off.
Yeah. One thing Ryan does love about the baseball season, though, is after Cubs games going to Oak Crow, because we've spent many times there up on the rooftop having a really good time, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing better than in the summertime.
Yeah.
Just being at a ball game, having the beer and the hot dog. I will say that. In person, going to a baseball game, now I don't have season seats like you do because I couldn't go to 162 or 81 games at home, but going to some games at Wrigley and just being outside in the nice weather, that's a great experience.
How about Wrigley as a concert venue?
I love it. But you got to be on the field because the stage is always in center field or in left field. So if you got to be on the field, and it's pretty like surreal being on the field at Wrigley going, man, this is where PCA stands right here. It's like being on the field. If you're in the bleachers, I remember I was way up one time and I saw, I can't even remember because I couldn't see him. I can't remember who I saw. I saw Elton John. I saw Elton John and Billy Joel, and they brought a special guest up, and we were so far away, even the video boards, you couldn't really see who was on stage. After that, I'm like, you got to be close. But yeah, I like it.
And your favorite music, as we're talking about music venue, country music is your favorite? And do you have a favorite artist these days, or who are you dying to see live?
I got to interview Luke Combs at the CMAs recently. I love Luke Combs. I love his music. Maybe it's the name. Yeah. But country music is just that feel-good summer music. Kenny Chesney, he just makes you feel good. But honestly, I'm a fan like you are. I'm a fan of just about every music. Mostly, though, I like to have words.
Yeah. Luke's a big fan of EDM. He's a big fan of EDM.
I don't even know what EDM is. Actually, the Pompeii, is that it? The Pompeii
and
song?
I like them to be able to have to make the music on stage. Like, I don't really like to go see an artist unless they play an instrument. Like, my favorite artist, you asked who I want to see? Yeah. I want to see Bruno Mars again. Yeah. And obviously that is not country music, but that guy is the best performer going.
We saw him together at Lollapalooza, me and you.
Yes, we did.
He was awesome.
I saw him at the United Center too. He's like Prince.
He is.
I saw Foo Fighters at Lollapalooza with a big, massive rainstorm, and I just saw that Dave Grohl, Bruno Mars, and Pink are going to do a tour together.
Oh, wow.
I saw that yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I used a lot of fake stuff on the internet, but it had dates and everything for the cities. Chicago's was October, maybe?
You're saying Foo Fighters, Pink?
Not Foo Fighters. Oh. Dave Grohl, Pink, and Bruno Mars.
Nice. I did Google when does Bruno Mars coming to Chicago, and I did see and the tickets are absolutely outrageous. Concert tickets these days, it doesn't matter even who you're seeing. It's just crazy what the ticket prices are. But it's like the one thing I will still pay for. I think being a sportscaster for as many years as I've been, I just can't buy tickets to things anymore. I'd rather just watch it on TV. Like, I've been offered tickets to go to the Bears game. I will still go to Wrigley in the summer, but like to the Bears games, I'd rather watch it on TV with a big TV. But when it comes to a concert, I still want to see the live concert up close.
Ryan and I sidebar a lot when it comes to AI, right? We're not going to bore you guys with the AI stuff, but about all the things. But we decided the one thing that AI is not going to take over are live concerts and live performances and live music, right? You can AI a song, but you still got to have somebody perform that song live in concert. That's the one thing kind of almost we feel like is like AI proof.
Yeah, I'm not even here right now. This is my AI. I'm doing sports. I'm trying to get a few of me. Yeah, and then I can keep duplicating this. But yeah, I think live music is one of those things. It's people are always going to want it. People are always going to have it in demand. But I just really want to see some artists start giving the fans a break a little bit. It just seems like the ticket prices are just outrageous.
Agreed.
All right. Cubs prediction. How many games are they going to win this year? Is it going to be over 90, under 90?
Over 90. They won 92 last year. I think they're probably right about in that ballpark. I mean, if you look at this roster, I mean, obviously Kyle Tucker's the biggest name not coming back, but they added Cabrera and Bregman. Love both of those pickups. And I know Cabrera is having a great spring. Bregman's obviously at the WBC. I like this team. I mean, they're solid in their pitching. They're solid on I just looked at their potential lineup. They obviously need to get Justin Steele back. They will. I know Wicks is now hurt. They'll get him back. Assad hopefully is healthy. But if you still look at they're 6 deep right now in their pitching rotation, you can never have enough pitchers, right? But I think that they're as deep as they've ever been. And I like this team, man. I really think that if they don't win the division, it will be a huge surprise and a huge disappointment. And, if you look at the betting odds, and Vegas is pretty good, they got them in one of the top 12 teams to win the World Series. I think they're 22-1, to win it all, which is pretty good odds at the beginning of a season.
Yeah, I echo his sentiment. I think I'm thinking the division is ours, and for me, anything less than the NLCS is a disappointment. That's where my tough. Standards are high. They better than last year. Obviously, I'm hopeful they can win the World Series, but for me, it's the division and at least get to the NLCS for me to feel like it's a success.
15-second tease. Go. What's coming up on ABC 7 Sports tonight?
Coming up on ABC 7 Sports, Luke Stuckmeyer and Justin Roman are going to be my special guests.
Yes, I love it.
Sure, just run this. We don't care. Whatever, fill a couple shows.
That's good. Actually, we're going to talk about all this Bears free agency. They're making some moves. It's exciting times for Chicago because I'll tell you what, about a year and a half ago, it was the most depressing year in Chicago sports going back to 1997. Every team just about was in last place except for the Cubs and the Bulls, but they weren't great. So I'm just excited right now. We have a great Cubs team and a great baseball season coming up. And I think the Bears, if they do this thing right, they're going to have another great year and they could put this thing together for a long time.
All right, Ryan Chiaverini, ABC 7 for 20 years.
Yeah, congrats, buddy. It's a big deal, man. Congrats, dude.
Started when I was 15. They're still investigating the child labor laws, but we'll get it worked out in litigation.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Love you, buddy.
Thanks, Ryan.
Love you guys.
Ryan Chiaverini, ABC 7. We had a good time talking to him. He's always fun to hang out with, and we're always having fun hanging out with you in the chat, even though David Snyder says, sorry, Ryan, Nico got you beat with the looks.
Oh, man.
It's all right.
You got to see Ryan in person. I'm telling you. I think Ryan puts a good fight.
He didn't even have his makeup on yet.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today's CHGO Cubs podcast. We're back tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Joey is back in the building tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching and fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.